This morning I'm going to be working on the Boyd internal fuel pump, and what I got in the package was aromatic internal fuel pump, and Boyd supplies this 12 bolt flange right here, which is theirs. It's engraved, it's pretty nice, but the problem is that when I received this piece, it was really foggy and frosted. Let me see if I can get you to see that. You can see where there's a lot of fog right here, all down in here. None of this is shiny. And I reached out to him and through his website, there's no phone number. And I sent him a message. I still haven't heard nothing. It's been a week. So my guess is it's like, thank you for your money, whatever. So what I did this morning is I thought, hey, I got some of this metal polish right here. And what if I took some of that and try to get rid of some of this fog and this kind of deterioration of the, the shininess of it. So you can see right here, I've actually taken some of my polish and I've worked that in. And I've been able to basically shine this up because this is like a two-part. So this would be the sealer, the gloss sealer. And this right here is the metal polish that actually take off some of this oxidation and stuff like that that's on this. So you can see right here what I got with all this fogginess. Hope the camera's picking that up pretty good. It really didn't look good, It certainly didn't look new. Once this looks perfect, we'll be installing this in the Boyd tank. What we have is an Aeromotive, I think this is a 390 pump, and the kit comes with this flange, gasket, like we have some hardware, some plastic or urethane washers. Looks like we've got a filter for the bottom of this fuel pump. Came with a couple of instructions. I've already purchased some fittings here for the tank. There we go. They're suggesting this Earl's AT949006, and that's what I have here. So this will be the fitting that will go on the outlet or the feed side of the pump, all the way up to the regulator. Inside these instructions, the only other helpful information that I have here is that they're asking, there is a wiring diagram. I'm supposed to run a relay in a 30 amp circuit to this red wire, and obviously run a ground. It appears that this is going to slide into the tank. This will sit on top of the tank. Then somehow I gotta try to hold this, slide this into the tank, and then get the hardware started. Clearly, before I start installing all this, I'm going to want to loom this and make a connector. I'm also going to want to take off this, this plug right here and slide on this filter. In the instructions, it also tells me that I need to be careful of this small little hole here. It's a vapor, some type of a vapor port right here. Got to make sure that's not obstructed by anything. So mine looks good. This is fresh out the box, so no issues. I went ahead and I did make the connector for the fuel pump wiring, and what I've used is this quick disconnect right here. I actually found out about these through another YouTube channel called Car Audio Fabrication. The host over there, his name is Mark, and in his car stereo world, he actually uses a lot of these plugs for quick disconnects. So I really like these, and I ordered a bag of 20, something like that, to get started. This is the first time I'm using this type of connector, and how this works is you basically have a male and a female version of this connector, and on the back side you just tin these, solder your wires on here. There is a little engraving of what's negative, what's positive, let's say. Once you got it wired on, this should have been slid on your wires prior to, and this just snaps closed. I went ahead and I added some loom here, some heat shrink. I obviously put on this this bottom portion soldered everything up. This is what it looks like. So it looks like on the bottom side of here, I'm just going to remove this cap. There is a filter in there, right? It's just what appears to be a stainless steel grill inside here. And then it looks like this is going to just sit right on top of here. This looks like it's a compression fit O-ring. It looks like I just need to slide this onto here. Oh, that's a nice tight fit. There we go. So let's orient this. This is going to sit on my tank like this. I think there's a baffle. I think I need to turn this ever so slightly right here. That's how I think it needs to go. Not sure. The instructions don't say anything about this, but I think that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, let's set this right here so it doesn't get damaged. And let's go over to the fuel tank. Okay, here we are back at the fuel tank, and I'm about to install the fuel pump. Right here is the block-off plate that came with this tank, and I've already removed all the Phillips head screws, and we're going to remove this plate and its gasket. Underneath here we have the ring with the threaded nut certs in here, and it looks like there are 2 Phillips screws to actually remove it. All right, that's this guy. All right, so it looks like there's a slit in this guy to get this out. Okay. Okay, we're going to reverse that by getting the new one. Scratch the tank. Got it in. Okay, looks like the holes are lining up. The kit came with some new tapered screws right here. All right, got that started. Okay, this is going to be an Allen. All the threaded holes lined up. Let's get that started. Get over here. Snugged up right there. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm just putting it on as tight as the ones that I removed. I'm gonna put our gasket right here. Okay. Now inside I'm looking and it looks like there's a baffle right here. There's a baffle right here. So I think I got this right with this filter right here being left to right instead of front to back. So it looks pretty good. Let's just drop this guy in here, right, ever so carefully. Set him down. Try to line up these holes. Something like that I think is what we're going for. All right, see if we can get some of these started. Make sure that the rubber seal is lining up with the nut cert down below. Okay. Let's go ahead and get another one started right about here. So far, so good. This guy right down here. Okay. Okay, now that we've got all those ran down, I'm just going to go through and snug them down. Okay, I'm just going to go around and tighten them up. Starting at 12 o'clock, good. Okay, the next thing that I need to do is install the fittings. I got a fitting here, which is a 90-degree fitting. This is going to be a number 6. Here we go. This part number, Earl's AT949006. This should be a 3/8 NPT thread, and that is the return line. So we have this part right here. This is a Vibrant Performance, and this part number is going to be, there we go. That's what we're using. And then down here, right here, you can't see it off camera, but there is a drain port down there. and I got a plug for that. And this is the part number that we're going to be using to install a plug on that drain hole. On this plug right here, I'm going to run a little bit of thread sealant, not much. And I just want to put thread sealant kind of in the middle. I don't want thread sealant on the tip. I don't want this squeezing out into the tank. And of course, once I tighten this up, I don't want a bunch squeezing out the top. So I'm just going to run a tiny bit of this Loctite 565 around the threads. All right, next thing I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and install the fitting on the return line port, which is right here. Let's make sure this fits. Nice, it does fit, okay? Now, I do not have an A&N wrench for that fitting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little bit of tape to my 7/8 wrench. Maybe just a little bit more. Feels super tight to me. All right, last one is gonna be the 90-degree fitting for the fuel pump. Now on this one, this is not an MPT threads, and it has a rubber washer on this type of fitting, right? So I'm not gonna need to run any thread sealant for this since it has that rubber O-ring. We're just gonna neatly thread this guy in there. Now this should bottom out and seat on that O-ring. I feel like that's good. Okay, there we go. We have a swivel 90 right here. One last thing I want to do on this fuel tank is go ahead and lightly install the filler neck. So from the same manufacturers as this tank, which is Boyd Welding, we have the fuel pump, and now we have this filler neck. This is the kit that I got. This is going to be a bed floor filler neck. It's got the top that closes, and it has a tool to tighten it and obviously loosen it up to open it up, fill up in fuel. So they also sold me a small kit right here with hoses and clamps to raise obviously the filler neck up to where the bed floor is going to sit. So I want to lightly install this so I can get some measurements when I go ahead and cut the hole in the bed and kind of understand what the rise is. So I'm just going to lightly install this today and put that in there. I'm not going to go crazy. Like I said, I'm just installing this just to mock it up. All right, I think the next thing I need to do is take off this cap. Now this has a chain, and so it doesn't come out, so I'm gonna need to get my fingers in there and somehow figure out how to get that out. Hang on. Almost, oh, got it, right there. There we go. Slide this on. Slide that on, and we'll just kind of run this down so it's not flopping around. Now we go ahead and put this guy on for now. There, that should keep debris out. And I think what we'll do is I'll just run a piece of tape over that, and we will just lock that down right here so we don't lose the filler neck tool. Okay, so that's it. I guess I'll just clean this up. I'll save these screws and this piece right here to file away the instructions. And there it is.